Well, hello again everyone. This is Fred, again showing you more incredible things to do here in Portugal. And today we are going to be talking about castles. That's right. Now Portugal is full of them, as you may have heard. And of course this quest today brings me back here to Sintra. It is a very foggy day. I mean, look at this. But I guess in some ways it gives it this very mystic atmosphere that is quite adequate and suits the look of the castle here very, very well. Now, Sintra is known for having lots of castles. However, only one of them is actually a true castle, because all the other places we have here are actually considered palaces, not castles. So there's a very big difference between that. So a castle acts more as a fortress, like a defense line, whereas a palace is more of a residence, be it for the royal family or for someone just very rich, like you have a lot of those here in Sintra. But today we're going to be focusing more here on the Moorish castle, which sits right at the top of the mountain. If you arrive in Sintra by train, if you look at the top, that's the first thing you look, is the wall of this Moorish castle that we're about to go in. So I'll bring you along for the ride, and hopefully you will enjoy seeing it and learning a bit about it as well. So let's get going. So just last night I was actually investigating on this matter before I did this video today, and I wanted to figure out exactly how many castles we had here in Portugal. And turns out it's not really an accurate number, because depends on what you really consider a castle, and depends also in its condition. Like, some of them are completely in ruins today. Some of them, like this one, are actually very well built. I mean, they've been restored through the years, and some are actually like sort of abandoned as well, but still in relatively good condition. So the popular amount that it's said that Portugal has is between 400 and 500 castles total. So yeah, there's a whole lot of them. The one we're coming in today, the Moorish castle, just there, it's one of the most touristy ones. Of course, Sintra is a very popular place, but deep into the country of Portugal you'll find more which have nowhere near this amount of people. But still, we are in just the beginning of March, and so still low season, not going to be crowded with people anyway, so still probably a very enjoyable experience. Let's go and have a look. Okay, and we are officially inside of the castle. Now, there is a couple of things I'd like to point out to you before you make your way here. And so, first of all, ticket prices. For me, it's free. I'm a tour guide. But for you, it should be €8 for each adult, just so you know. And also, like, you might remember in my previous video about Sintra, which was focusing on the Palace of Pina, which is actually right next to this. If the view opens up and the fog kind of clears out a little bit, I'll actually show you how you can see the Pina Palace even from the walls of the Moorish castle here, because they're both really in the top of the mountain. There was one thing I forgot to mention, and that's because since the beginning of 2020, this year, private cars are no longer allowed to drive up here to the door. You see, in previous years, anyone could just get their own car, even if it was rented, and just drive here to the door, park the car, and then go in for a visit. Nowadays, everything's changed. So, mainly because of safety reasons. Because usually in the summer, when this got really busy, there tended to be a lot of big traffic jams up here, and that meant if an accident happened, then it would be very difficult for like ambulances to go through the traffic. So I mean, just because the roads are really so narrow to get up here, and this is kind of more for safety. But keep that in mind. Today, to come up here, you need to either catch a bus down by the train station, or get a private tour guide with a private tourism vehicle, and then we also have permission to actually drive up here. So yeah, those are your options. And hopefully you don't make the mistake of driving up to the top of the mountain, because then you'll basically just find that the police is sitting at the top of the road and forcing you to drive into the natural park, and then you're gonna kind of just get lost. Maybe you'll park in the middle of nowhere and then you'll have trouble returning to your car. So to save yourself some trouble, just find a tour guide or get a bus and come here nice and easily. Okay, now that I've made it here to one end at the top of the castle, I can try and show you the view, but look, it's just too foggy. Normally you have this very privileged view just over the city, and you can kind of still see it, but it's not the same as when the sun is completely out. But yeah, I'll guess while it's windy and foggy like this, I'll just focus on taking some really nice b-roll to show you around how this castle looks, and then hopefully it will open up a little bit for me to show you more of the views and talk to you a bit more about the castle here and why Portugal really has so many castles like this. So see you soon. And for doing this in such a crazy windy and foggy day, I think I deserve a big like button. Hit that just here below the video. That's your way of telling YouTube that you like my content and that it should share it with other people as well. You remember last week's video? If you didn't watch it, click here. But we were at the beach swimming, and then this week, look at this weather. How is this? Like, yeah, that's winter in Portugal for you. You never know what you're gonna get, but you can get a bit of everything, that's for sure. So here I am doing my YouTuber life, having a coffee. I'm not even that much of a coffee person, to be honest, but on YouTube every guy has to have coffee all the time, so here I am. Now, there's something I haven't shown you yet, and that's the map here of the Moorish castle. Now, as you can see, it just won World Travel Award winner 2014, so I guess this is quite popular. Now, I have to show you this. So here goes. You can see the entire kind of structure of the castle, and there is something here on the map that I couldn't show you today just walking through the palace, and that's what you see just up here, and that's all these flags. Now if you look closely, the first one here on the left side looks like the flag from Finland. Now this is not the flag from Finland, I tell this to everyone. This is officially the first ever Portuguese flag, and all the others that normally are exposed here in the castle, but today for some reason they took them off. Only the Portuguese one, the current one, is exposed. But yeah, these represent all the stages that the Portuguese flag went through during our history. Now you'll notice that the green was never predominant on any of these other flags, only in the current one, and that's because green and red are the colors that have only been adopted when Portugal went from a monarchy to a republic, which happened in 1910 as you can see here on the date. Before that, the colors were blue and white, or in most of them, also with the red surrounding here in some stages. But yeah, this is the monarchy flag. This was the republic flag that everyone knows today. And this is not the Finland's flag, now you know. I have to say also, if you don't like stairs or walking, this is definitely not the place for you. Let's get to it. Hey, we're on the way, and here it's slightly less windy, so I'll take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit. Now, why does Portugal have so many castles like this? Now this is called the Moorish castle. That's a good hint. So, before the Portuguese were here, who inhabited the territory of Portugal and most of southern Spain as well, were the Moorish people from the north of Africa. And one of the things they did a lot to defend their territory was castle structures like these. Then the Portuguese took over, and we of course still use them to defend our territory against Spain, against the Moorish themselves as well. And so, yeah, they did that all over, from north to south of Portugal. Anywhere you go, you're gonna have castles like this on the tops of hills, and even castle walls around a lot of towns and cities, especially more towards the interior of the country. So that's the reason why we have so many of them. The Iberian Peninsula was a coveted place back around the 10th, 11th, 12th century, that period of history. So yeah, you did need this sort of structure to kind of be able to defend your territory, always in a vantage point, making sure that you can see your opponents from the distance before they get you. Okay, now, so as I myself from this crazy wind, I have to tell you a few more things about the castle here. Now, just like many other places in this area, including especially the city of Lisbon, this thing has been totally ripped off and destroyed in the year 1755. That is when Portugal got hit by this massive earthquake. The epicenter was in the ocean, so especially the downtown of Lisbon was all wiped away by a huge tsunami as well. Now the Moorish castle of course didn't escape. Of course the tsunami didn't hit here, but it was shaken considerably strongly, and so it fell down, most of it, and it was kind of in ruins for a decent amount of time. And so it was in the next century, during the 19th century, when King Ferdinand II, who built and lived in the Pena Palace, which is just next door to this. If you didn't see the video about that, click the link up here. And yeah, it was that King, Ferdinand II, who actually restored the whole Moorish castle in a much more eccentric, romantic way, typical of the 19th century period. So that's why it looks so beautiful these days. Also, in the highest tower of the castle, where we're going now, is where Ferdinand II really enjoyed to go for his paintings. You know, if you watched that other video of the Pena Palace, he was known as the artist king. So from here, he used to have a very privileged view, not only over the territory, but also towards his house, or the Pena Palace, which is where he lived his time. So yeah, let's go and check out that highest point of the castle. Coming right away. There is a bee attacking me, go away. Whew. I want to survive. I mean, why bee? Why do you have to spoil my longest video? Yeah guys, let's keep going down now. And yeah, I think I'll wrap up this video with some nice b-roll of me going down outside of the castle. and hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I know more than 50% of you guys are actually watching these videos without hitting the subscribe button, but please do that. It's free, and I need that to grow this channel into something huge, and to keep me motivated to do these videos every single week. So yeah, do that, and I'll see you next week for more adventures right here in Portugal. Bye bye.